So what is the cheapest car insurance that you can buy in the United States today? Well, we're going to talk about that, and it's a very common question. It's probably the most searched question here on YouTube, probably Google as well. And we're going to dive in and show you what companies are going to give you the best deals and rates. So you're probably wondering, like, okay, why am I paying so much? Like, is the cost really what I should be paying? Or you're not quite sure. You think you're paying okay, but you just don't know if you've got the best deal. By the way, anyone that contributed to the channel, I appreciate the cups of coffee. They really help fuel the funds so I can make more videos and spend the time away from other things to do this channel. And the fact that I love coffee really helps a lot. So you're diving in and you're like, okay, I'm paying X amount of money a month, but I'm seeing these guys are advertising they can save $80 a month, they can save $100 a month. I've seen people save up to $8,000 a year before, and it was crazy how much they were paying before. That goes back to some of the other videos that you may have recently watched where we talk about what we call that profile. And we're not going to dive into that in this video. I'll link some of the videos in the description below so that you guys can view some of those, but it really talks about essentially you are a fit for different companies at different times in your life. Whether you're a homeowner, whether you have nicer cars, whether you're older than 25, whether you have a ticket or any activity on your license, married, all of that stuff, even home ownership when you have kids can affect the rate. So there's a lot of different things that affect what the cost is of the insurance, but how do we find the cheapest one that's going to give us the cheapest cost of insurance or the best rate that we can get on insurance, semi-excluding the ratings and the overall company? Where are we going to get the cheapest deal? Well, according to Value Penguin and NerdWallet, there's a little bit of conflicting stories that they have. They each have different companies in this rating. And so it gets a little confusing if you've done any research on this, where you're just like, I don't understand why so many different places that review different insurance companies have so many different guidelines and so many different prices. And to answer that question, it's mainly because their data that they use, that they test with, is different. In some cases, in the most common case, it's a 50-year-old male that has no tickets and no accidents that wants full coverage on a vehicle for 6 months. And if they paid in full, they don't explain that stuff. So that versus a 24-year-old driver that has a ticket but still wants similar coverages are going to pay a lot more expensive. And that's going to determine where these companies fit. Now, I'm not saying that these websites are purposely affecting that data, but keep in mind, they have specific companies they want you to lean towards. And if they change the data that they're looking at, it's going to confuse you, but it's also going to show you things that you might not be a good fit for. I'm going to lead towards Value Penguin in this situation where we're going to talk about their data because I like the fact that they broke it up into two different groups. They did under 30 and over 30. So they also had 18-year-olds, which is what we're specifically talking about in this video. And if you're older, I'll make another video that you guys will be able to watch. They break it up into not just one company set. It's the higher companies, the larger companies, the corporations that are massive. And then they did it more of the local ones. So if you're looking for more of that local touch, then you have that option as well. So before we dive into this, I want to just let you guys know that if you want to shop some of these companies, most of them are with one specific brand that I'm going to link below, where you can actually use an app to shop across these companies and look for different options. If you're looking to be more of the conversational and talk to somebody live, I'll put a link to my website where you can do a quote as well. So diving in for the cheapest one, overall the best company for your rates in most areas is going to be kind of an excluded one on most companies. It's USAA. USAA is one of the top companies in the nation. They're usually the top or the second to top, although they're technically not ever even in the rankings because they are very exclusive. They're not going to necessarily let you join them unless you're part of any type of military or have some sort of government connection, an employee or family member, someone that you work with or that you're tied to that will allow you to join that. It's kind of a club or a group insurance that you have to be in. That being said, they're going to be roughly about $200 to $250 every 6 months for the standard person. Now, these are across the board, not age range specific. We're going to dive more into the younger age because that's what this video is geared towards. But in general, they're one of the better options if you have a route in. The next up, which I'm sure you guys are going to let me know in the comments below, I partially agree with you and don't agree with this, is going to be State Farm. State Farm is one of the best companies overall as far as average, and so we're going to pin that to average because they're not crushing it. They are crushing the advertising mainly because they're the largest one in the nation. They're just unbeatable there. They own, I think it's 16% of the entire market, which in the insurance industry, it's pretty large. So they're going to do really well. They overall are a decent company for car insurance. There's nothing specific about them, and there's nothing specific about the next one, which is going to be Geico Insurance. Geico Insurance is, in my opinion, going to fit that younger demographic, which we're going to dive into, but they're the third best overall in general. So diving out of those, we're going to get more specific with the age range because I did like the fact that they're comparing different age ranges. So if you are an 18-year-old or close to that age range, in my opinion, I think anything under 25 years old, you're going to be kind of similar to this. So this will fit what you're looking for. You're going to be looking about $2,000 per 6 months on average for full coverage for USAA. Not bad, but it's not necessarily a fit for most people because you have to have that in to get in the door. So the next best is going to be Geico Insurance. And I'll link a video up here that will talk about Geico, how we went through and we ranked different companies ourselves, and we came up with them being the average overall cheapest option for the younger driver. So if you're around that 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20, whatever the age is, you're 25 or younger, and you're looking for just the cheapest thing you can do on average, regardless of looking at what state you're in, don't forget to check out our new channel sponsor in the description below, Cover. Cover Insurance is a hassle-free app where you can shop over 30 companies in less than 5 minutes. What are you waiting for? Make sure you're covered. It's going to be Geico Insurance. They, in almost every situation, until you have activity where you have a ticket or an accident, that profile moves around. If that's the case, then they're not going to be competitive whatsoever. And that, once again, is where those links come in at the bottom, where you can get the quotes with multiple companies. So as things change, you'll just go back to that app or go back to us, and you'll let us know that something's changed so that we can look at different options for you. That's essentially what the agents are out there to do. So if you have a local agent, that's what they're going to help you with, is to get that best deal, and always constantly shop to find what's going to be better in case something changes. So that's about $2,300 across the board in the US for Geico. That's going to be the common for a 6-month policy. From there, it jumps up pretty heavily when we look at the State Farm. And once again, watch that video where we talk about the best ones. I think that's going to give you some pointers too. But the State Farm jumps quite a bit up, and I don't think they should be in this ranking, to be honest with you. They're about $2,900 in the third spot, so they're very competitive. In some states like Texas and I think California, maybe, there's a few states where we talk about it, and I've researched a lot of it for you. So in many of those other states where State Farm is competitive, that's not to say they're not always a great fit, because in a lot of cases they are. I don't disagree with that. The third place placement doesn't seem like a fit for me. I personally would have put Progressive there, which is the fourth spot in this one at about $3,600. I think that's high, and quite a bit high. I would say I would flip State Farm and Progressive myself, so I would put them in the third spot. But granted, this is based on the data that they're using, which is quite a bit. There's thousands of quotes that they're looking at in different states and different things. So across the board, their data seems pretty accurate. But from the questions that you guys have asked on this channel, I've done a lot of research in each state, and overall, I think Progressive is going to come back competitive, unless you're in a state like Texas, where the State Farms and the Allstates, or even Florida, those two are really competitive there. In other states, they're not as competitive with the younger generation. Just for kicks, Allstate was in this mix, and they came in at about $5,500, just under that level for the 18-year-olds, and it's just ridiculous. At that point, you might as well drive Uber and not have a car payment, have a car. Now, keep in mind, it's full coverage that they're rating you on, so if you're looking for more of a PLPD vehicle, you're probably going to knock off about 20 to 30% of these costs, and that's what you're going to be looking at that 6-month premium. And on top of it, if you're going to go on a monthly payment plan, you'll add a few dollars for the payment structure per month, but you'll reduce that and divide that into 6 equal payments. Overall, the next one, and this is where I think Progressive, Geico, and Erie Insurance are going to be the most competitive. They actually, in the article, were ranked the cheapest car insurance was Erie Insurance, followed by State Farm, USAA, Metro Mile, which we'll have to do some more research on, and then Farm Bureau. So if those are the cheapest and you're above 25 and you're looking for full coverage, you've got a perfectly clean record, and you've got one vehicle across that board, you're going to qualify for a ton of discounts, which you'll want to watch this video to see what discounts you can qualify for. Those are going to be your cheapest options. If you're following this video where you're younger, you're 18, 19, 20, under 25, and you're looking for the cheapest insurance, the ones that we talked about in this video are going to be more of a fit for you. If not, I would recommend checking my other video that we did create for younger drivers, whether you're in school or you're just looking for a cheap rate with different companies. On top of that, it's good to know because we don't know what state you're in, and it's kind of a guess at what's the best route. And yes, if you leave me a comment in those videos, I do respond and give you 2 or 3 options that are going to be cheaper based on some quick research that I do. And it's simple for me to do because I've done it day after day, and I can tell you what companies I would lean towards. On top of that, what I would do is I would find the profile fit for you, because once again, every zip code, every vehicle, every driving history, credit score, all of that stuff, insurance scores and everything make a difference on what risk you are. And to determine that, let's say we go with the right company, we know that it's a fit. Let's find out if it's the right company for us to go with. Do we trust them? Are they going to pay our claims? All of those basic information. I'm going to put this video here for you guys to watch next because it's going to show you how to shop different companies based on reviews. If you are interested in shopping around, once again, that link is below. Otherwise, I'm Mark with Think Insurance. I'll see you in the next one.